Hey, good morning. Um, I kind of had this little revelation that I really need to start sharing with other people the things that God has given to me or revealed to me. So I think every day or however often, I'm just going to share something that God had shared with me, either revelation or wisdom or guidance, something that really helped me to understand various circumstances and situations. And I think this will be helpful. I think this will be really helpful for those who are looking for some sort of guidance. So it's not just for me that God revealed this to. So I really feel strongly that this should be for everyone. So a lot of us, one of the very first things that God ever said to me was, I just felt this desire, this urge to take my dog for a walk in the park. And so I kind of had this sneaking feeling that it might be from the Lord. And I wasn't sure 100%, but I decided to do it anyways and to obey those leadings. And I think a lot of us, number one, might be ignoring some of those subtle, gentle leadings from the Holy Spirit. My advice to you is that even if you're not 100% sure if it's from God or not, and obviously, as long as it's not something evil, but like going to the park with your dog isn't going to hurt anybody. So, I would just encourage you just to obey those and just to practice obedience and faithfulness to those leadings from the Holy Spirit. So, I grabbed my dog, and it was Shadow at the time, and unfortunately she's passed away now a few years ago. Um, so I went to the park with a purpose that God was going to meet me in some way, and I didn't know how, and I wasn't sure what I was looking for. And so I went into the park with like a sense of awareness that I needed to be looking for something, and I didn't know what it was. And so I am walking around, and I see these like white trees in the distance, and I think they're called birch, but I seen them and I started walking towards them. And as soon as my foot touched the little path that kind of went between these trees, I I hear the Lord immediately start speaking, and he said, "Can you see how you have to tug Shadow to the left or to the right to keep her on the path? Well, sometimes I need to correct you to keep you on the right path." And it was profound for me. It was so profound for me because it made me feel like I wasn't alone, that God was with me, and that I needed to I needed to pay attention to the path that he was keeping me on and wanted me to stay on. And that even if I drifted, he would correct me. He would bring me back to the main path. And that was just so encouraging to me because I think so many of us are so terrified and so afraid of doing the wrong thing that we do nothing. And I think that we need to put our hope and our trust in God, that he is omnipresent. He is everywhere, and he sees everything, and he knows everything. I can't see 5 minutes in front of me, 5 seconds in front of me. I can guess, and I can plan for things, but that doesn't mean that those things are actually going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. And this is why it's so important that we put our trust and our hope in God, and that we seek his wisdom and his guidance, not our own. And not to be afraid to move in a direction that we feel uncertain about. Because if we are aligning ourselves, if we're seeking God, if we're aligning our will with his will, and we're paying attention to the promptings from the Holy Spirit, then we can be warned against going in certain directions or encouraged to stay on the current one. And I think that there's some people that just need that encouragement today. Don't be afraid, because fear is not from God. Fear, now there's a healthy fear. If I'm at the edge of a cliff, fear is going to tell me to step back from that cliff, and that's going to save my life, right? But there's a kind of fear that actually paralyzes you. And I speak about this in day one of my book, my devotional, called The Unhindered Life. And it deals with fear, and it deals with the paralyzing fear that actually steals from us. And so I think that all of us need to be aware of that and to push through that fear, because when you push through that fear and you get to the other side, that's where the blessing comes. That's where the joy comes. So if you're experiencing fear today that's paralyzing you, that's stopping you from moving forward and what God has for you, what you feel the Holy Spirit is prompting you to do or to say, be encouraged that that isn't from God. That God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of joy and a sound mind. So seek that. And if you're finding yourself being paralyzed, you now have the knowledge and the information that you need to overcome that and to walk forward anyways. And I hope that this is a blessing for you. I hope that this helps somebody that needs it today. So God bless, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.